And our recaps. This movie revolves around the year 1347 in Garfagnana, Italy. The movie starts with a lovely nun, Fernanda, herding her donkey. While he met a nun, Sister Ginevra, who asked him why he had ignored the morning meeting. Then Fernanda answered him if the donkey were given out, and he went searching out it. And while discussing, unexpectedly a gardener, Lurko handed them, and needed them suitable mourning. But the two of them violently chased Lurko away. The nuns are led with the aid of Pastor Tomas, who led them to pray collectively. After that, Mrs. Maria once more reprimanded Fernanda. Why failed she be part of? Mrs. Maria could be very disciplined and does not need the sisters to hang out with any men. Then we see a lovely nun, Alessandra Yang, who's more of a dreamer. The nuns commented on Alessandra that perhaps she became just gazing the window and hoping a person might come and take her away. Meanwhile, Alessandra receives a go-to from her father, who sees Alessandra looking skinny. And her father discovered that they had to supply Alessandra precise food, considering the money she dispatched at the convent. Although Alessandra wanted so that it will depart the monastery to marry outdoor, but her father did no longer want it. Because getting married become now not Alessandra's calling. After that, Alessandra, Fernanda and Ginevra wandered across the lawn. Even as Lurko looked at them, Dan subtly rebuked them. But then the three of them were given indignant and attacked Lurko Yang for no apparent reason. At some point, Tomas went to the metropolis to sell Alessandra's woven fabric, to boom the financing of the monastery. But before leaving, Tomas met with Lurko at the same time as the sisters watched from the window. Lurko whinged to Tomas about the movements of some of the sisters who rudely treated him. Then we see Lord Bruno speak to his queen even as consuming at the dinner desk. A younger servant, Massetto, serves wine, and gestures to the queen. It appears the two have a secret courting. And at night Massetto sleeps with the queen. However, Bruno got here into the room, making Massetto jump out of the window. Then Bruno went to the maid's room and checked every maid to peer who had just arrived. However, Bruno discovered Massetto's heartbeat. All he knew was that Massetto became a person who had simply arrived. After Bruno left, Massetto secretly cut the hair of the opposite maids, and the following morning Bruno gathered all the maids and denounced what one among them had completed to the queen when he returned to lunch. But the queen objected to Bruno now not to talk while eating, because the queen became disgusted discussing rude things on the dinner desk. Despite the fact that Bruno could be very angry, the queen refuses Bruno's offer to be with him at night. Meanwhile, Massetto is working outdoor. The queen starts to tease him. However, Massetto notices that Bruno is looking him from the pinnacle of the building. Bruno then orders the guards to capture Massetto. But Massetto is privy to Bruno's movements. He finally ends up running away. Simply then, Massetto bumped into the woodland and located Tomas trying to drag his woven fabric that had fallen inside the river. Massetto without delay helped gather the cloths. Then Tomas stated if only he could pay for it to thank Massetto for assist. However, Massetto most effective asked if he simplest wished a place to stay just for one night. Tomas takes him to the monastery and drinks wine. Then Massetto additionally confesses to his affair with the queen and promises by no means to do the identical once more. Then Tomas took him to Sister Maria, informed Maria that Massetto became a person who became dumb and deaf and could work in the garden. Maria agreed. Ginevra went to meet Massetto in the garden. At the same time as speaking to him, Massetto uses sign language to confirm that he is certainly dumb and deaf. Then whilst Massetto stares at Alessandra, Fernanda gets irritated and threatens him. However, Alessandra went to call Sister Maria and Sister Maria stopped her. Then Sister Maria spoke to Alessandra about the embroidery that Tomas Dan had robbed on the road. Then Alessandra by chance broke her loom. Even as Ginevra followed Alessandra into Massetto's room. Alessandra is there to invite Massetto for help repairing his loom. Further, Alessandra also revealed that she did now not need to stay a run-of-the-mill life inside the monastery and desired to get out and get married. Then Fernanda joined Ginevra to reveal Alessandra, who had simply come out of Massetto's room repairing her loom. Then Massetto joins Tomas for his 2D enjoyable night with wine. Wherein did Tomas ask how he stepped forward on the primary day. And reminded Massetto dealt with some of the sisters who dealt with the previous gardener very harshly. So Tomas reminded Masetto. If something passed off to him, he ought to tell him. One night time Fernanda stole a number of Thomas's wine from his cabinet. And the sisters accumulated within the room ingesting and singing and doing quite a few amusing. A pal of Fernanda's, Marta, requested them, have they ever been touched with the aid of a person? And that they say no. Alessandra asked Marta if that changed into an awesome feeling. She informed him it changed into the greatest satisfaction on earth. That announcement made all of the nuns curious as sisters. Alessandra, Fernanda, and their friends get excited. It's far revealed that Fernanda is in according with Marta. It began when Fernanda went to visit him. At the start Dan lied that the donkey ran away. The subsequent morning, Alessandra visited Masetto Yang at work. Alessandra, who talks loads, believes that Masetto can't communicate and is deaf. Alessandra begins to seduce him and the two start a romance. However, Alessandra realized that the romance became too rapid, so she went and apologized to Masetto. Whilst Ginevra and Fernanda were within the laundry, Ginevra requested if Fernanda had a nice closing night. He failed to solution a lot, then got here Alessandra, came there, who regarded with a beaming face, which turned into now not as common. Making his two buddies end up careworn to look at. Then Fernanda and her pal Marta came to Masetto in his room. They threatened Masetto to demand him to present them delight. Alessandra is also seeking out possibilities to create romance with Masetto. But Masetto was amazed and informed Alessandra that a person become there. The two forestall their romance. But Alessandra wonders why Masetto can speak while she knows, if Masetto is mute and deaf. Ginevra additionally likes Fernanda, however whilst she finds out that Fernanda has some other partner, Ginevra complains to Maria that Fernanda lied about the donkey problem, to run away and meet Marta. The next day Ginevra was hoping that Fernanda could get hold of a rebuke from Sister Maria. However, disillusioned whilst Sister Maria only gave widespread advice to the nuns. Disenchanted, Ginevra starts to hurt herself. Alessandra is going to Masetto asking him to be sincere. Why is he lying if he's mute and deaf? However, while the two were discussing the matter, Ginevra appeared with a misplaced soul drawing near Masetto, who became pretending to be asleep. Makes Alessandra disguise within the corner of the hay. But then Fernanda reappears, makes Ginevra cover, but is surprised to see Alessandra there too. Later, Fernanda kidnaps Masetto with a knife, and takes him to the wooded area, where he met a set of magicians. Fernanda tries to perform a fertility ritual with Masetto but is stopped by the advent of Alessandra and Ginevra. Ginevra, under the results of the hallucinogenic belladonna, and starts to dance and thieve the monastery donkey. Masetto feigns that he isn't deaf-mute even as looking to unfasten himself. They return to the convent, and all their secrets are found out to a touring priest. Tomas is sent to grow to be a monk after it's Miles discovered that he and Mom Maria are in love and have a secret relationship. Masetto became back to his grasp and held in a jail cell below chance of torture and imminent dying. Till three nuns, who've reconciled and fashioned a more potent friendship, help him break out. Even as Alessandra, Masetto, Ginevra, and Fernanda have been on foot returned to the convent together, Maria and Tomas had met in mystery underneath the pretext that Mom Maria had long passed to fetch the donkey. They cover as the nuns and Masetto pass by way of. Fernanda stopped and stared in bewilderment on the another time freed donkey, which she herself had used as an excuse time and time once more to break out from the convent, until Ginevra pulled her away. After the institution left, Tomas and Maria hugged each other and smiled. That is the tale. Please assist guide by pressing the subscribe button and pressing the bell, so you can get notifications from the subsequent films. Thank you for looking and bye.